Well, now greetings and salutations to you all once again. It is I, the Ravenous Spectre, and this is a little bit of a video that I wanted to make regarding my thoughts on buying remasters and remakes. Obviously, remasters and remakes are different. Remakes is like a complete overhaul of the entire game, probably adding in new graphics, new gameplay things, new characters, new stories, new everything that you can possibly think of from the ground up. And remasters are obviously just maybe adding a few things here and there, making the graphics a little bit sharper, stuff like that, adding a few things here and there, so on and so forth. Not along the lines of what a remake would be, you know. But I always used to have this thought process of like, if I'm going to end up buying a remaster, it's going to be a remaster that's if I were to pay full price for it, for example, it was going to be something that I have never played before, that I never thought about playing, and now I'm recently finding out about it, especially with it being remastered. I may actually dive in and want to buy it at full price, depending on kind of what it is. But other games that I already have, that I already own, and they end up having remasters, I think about it along the lines of, well, you know what? It doesn't really hurt to end up having extra copies of games. So I think of it along the lines of, I'm going to end up getting this particular remaster or this remaster or this remaster, so on and so forth, when it drops in price, when it's like dirt cheap or something, or going on a deep sale, something like that, not paying full price for it, you know, like $40 or $60 or whatever. I'm not doing that crap. Like, for example, Darksiders. Yeah. The first Darksiders first came out on PS3. I mean, I know it's came out on other platforms, but I'm just speaking specifically of this platform. First came out on PS3, then came out on PS4. Now it's out on Switch. I have it on PS3. I have it on PS4, and I'm thinking about getting it on Switch, but when it's probably like $10 or something, maybe $10, 15, something like that, because I think it's like 30 right now. And I think it's kind of interesting too, because there's like a misprint that happened that everybody is all up in arms about, just because of the fact that the artwork or something kind of wrapped around from the back to the spine, and it's not red like all the Switch cases are, it's just black. I don't know why people are getting all up in arms about freaking color change from red to black. I don't know. People are weird. But it's like, oh, it's just never been seen before. You know, it's just like everything is red on all the Switch cases, but this one's black. Well, maybe they'll fix that. I don't know. Who cares? But anyways, people are like, oh, it might be rare one day. I don't give a shit. If I'm going to buy the game, I'm going to keep it. I don't buy stuff to plan on turning around and selling it again. Anyways, but yeah, there has been remasters that I've gotten before that have had some incremental increases in terms of like graphics and other things that have been added, stuff like that, so on and so forth. But I've always waited until they got really cheap before I even bothered with them. One good example of, like, I should say a remake is like the Yakuza series, which is actually what I'm playing right now and also streaming some of. Yakuza, Kiwami 1 and 2, I believe is actually supposed to be remakes of the first two games that came out on PS2, and this is PS4. And you could tell a definite difference, obviously, when it comes to the graphics. And so to me, that's a remake, you know. But like, say for example, when it comes to like God of War 3, that came out on PS4. The graphics had just been increased a little bit. It's pretty much, I think that's all what it is. I don't think anything else was added that was new, but you know, it came out on PS3 and then it came out on PS4, so I don't know. But I waited until that was dirt cheap. And but like for Yakuza, I never really played any of the series until I really started to get into them on PS4, when they used to release like crazy, you know. It was just like one release after another, but they're great games, so definitely go check them out, you guys. Definitely. But I was so surprised when I looked a little bit deeper into how the graphics were, and they looked amazing. It's just like, this doesn't look anything like it does on PS2. And I was like, holy freaking crap. And I was like, yeah, I definitely want to go ahead and buy these at full price. But full price for those was only like $40, I think. For Kiwami 1 and 2, I think it was just like $40. I think that was like the full price they were selling them at. I think like Yakuza 0 was 50 or 60, I think, but like the first Kiwami 1 and 2 were like just $40, I believe. So yeah, I definitely jumped on those. And I think like Yakuza 6 was 50, I want to say. Maybe, I don't know. I know it wasn't 40. I think it was 50. Anyways, whatever. I'm getting way out there in left field again. But anyways, yeah, I kind of just want to make a little bit of a video regarding this, on my thoughts of like remakes and remasters and so on and so forth. And yeah, they can definitely be cheap cash-ins for companies too. They definitely can be. That's why you got to be really savvy about stuff like that. If you yourself want to choose that, You want to go buy, pay full price or whatever for another game that you already have in your collection just to play on another system that may or may not have something added into it. It may or may not look better than the original. That's up to you. But when it comes to me, I'm going to wait until they go on sale and they get like really cheap or something. I'm really waiting for sales on things like that because if it's games that I really, really want and I really like and I adore, then I would like to have another copy of it, on another system. But gotta wait for those sales, man. Got to. Definitely got to. And the funny thing is that companies got this in their head where they think that we're always going to do that all the time. They're like, oh yeah, we're releasing on this new system with like a few other little tweaks and whatnot, and they'll eat it up, they'll buy it up. It doesn't matter what price it is. Yeah, right. And just like for example with the recent Borderlands 1 that got re-released, that thing is a GameStop exclusive, which I think is stupid. I think at some point it'll get re-released on other stores, maybe not. And the friggin' thing is like $40 or something, I think, but they released a very small amount of physical copies. And I don't know if they're going to release more. I don't know. I have no clue. I'm pretty much against digital for the most part, unless I find something extremely cheap that interests me. And I mean cheap too. I don't mind going that route and getting it digitally. But that's like few and far between. You're better off finding physical copies that are a hell of a lot cheaper than freaking digital ones. Trust me. Digital's so much cheaper. Yeah, shove it out your ass. Shove it up your ass. Whatever. That's a load of bullshit. But anyways, yeah. So obviously I'm here at work, taking a little bit of a break. Figured I'd go ahead and make this video, and went a little bit longer than what I had planned for it to. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. But I'll go ahead and I'll end this like I always do. Later, potaters.